Thank you for joining us for Duck U News. I'm Ellen Minkin.
And I'm Adam Holmes. A recent report from the Department of Public Safety at the University of Oregon showed an increase in crime rates on and around campus. Judith Akiwa takes a closer look at student concerns.
College campuses are known to be high-risk grounds for sexual assaults. The Department of Public Safety at the University of Oregon has reported that the first 3 months of 2011 have shown a 53% increase in crimes reported on campus compared to 2010. Even with these reports, some students still feel safe on campus.
I feel extremely safe. I've never had a problem with anyone harassing me or any issue like that.
Self-defense classes are one tactic for students who want to feel safer.
Self-defense classes are good, especially for females who are a little bit more vulnerable to attack, statistically.
Other students like Sage Kolpak are more hesitant to believe self-defense classes are a complete method of prevention.
It's probably a basic knowledge everyone should have, but when it comes down to it, if someone has a weapon, I don't know. I don't want to have to carry a weapon around with me either, but I think it only helps to a certain extent.
Adam Roberts, self-defense instructor at Mackenzie Martial Arts, firmly believes even minimal self-defense training can be beneficial.
I think some women, in general too, if you haven't done any training, you kind of go into that mode of, well, I think I'll just freeze. Even just one class might even give you the idea that, hey, I do actually have options. If somebody grabbed me, if somebody was following me.
Roberts explained 3 simple targets to defend yourself against an attacker.
Taking your hands and slapping to the eyes, slapping to the ear, and always kicking somebody in the groin is a great move.
The knowledge you gain from self-defense classes can go beyond the physical training.
Being aware about your surroundings and making the right decisions, having the confidence to be able to make the right decisions.
Although not all sexual assaults can be prevented, being aware of your surroundings can decrease your vulnerability to these attacks. For Duck U News, this is Judith Akiwa.
In other news, the University of Oregon is officially going smoke and tobacco free in fall 2012. This decision was made to provide students, visitors, and faculty with a healthier environment on campus. During the transitional period, the UO will provide services to the university body to help support individuals who choose to quit smoking. These services include counseling and free nicotine replacement products.
In other university news, the U of O will be renovating the Student Recreation Center this fall. The renovation is expected to cost over $160 million and won't be finished until 2015. In order to pay for the renovation, student fees are expected to increase by as much as $100.
University of Oregon class sizes are growing while faculty are struggling to keep up. Duck U took a closer look at the issue. On its surface, the University of Oregon is booming. Campus is growing, enrollment has increased, and the university brings in more tuition dollars than ever before. But inside this classroom lies the issue of quality. Class sizes are way up, and the number of university faculty has stagnated. Today, some introductory classes are overfilled and often hectic, as students arrive late, leave early, and are generally distracted.
The further back you go in the classroom, you can just see people aren't even paying attention at a certain point. The way it's done is more just to get as many people through it as possible, more than to actually teach you anything.
Professor Southworth's sociology class packs up to 510 people each term, a class that in 1994 held only half that.
It's difficult, it's demoralizing. Yeah, you take the enthusiasm out of the classroom by doing it this way.
Data shows that while university enrollment and tuition has increased substantially in the past 5 years, the total spent on university instruction has stayed the exact same. From 2006, the university had 16,500 students and 622 full-time faculty. In 2009, the student enrollment was 22,500 students, with only 10 new faculty members added. Administrators could not be reached for comment, but for Professor Southworth, it's an issue of priorities.
We spend the money on football and buildings, and we don't spend the money on faculty. It's just about that simple.
For Duck U News, I'm Ellen Minkin.
Some of you Oregonians may have noticed the cold spring weather we're having, but to those who aren't from around here, spring isn't always like this in the Northwest. Currently, the Northwest is experiencing a La Nina weather pattern. This means we had cooler than normal sea temperatures on the Pacific Ocean, causing an influx of cold, rainy weather into spring. And while this may be unpleasant for those of us planning spring activity, it's even worse for farmers. The harvest for most of Oregon is expected to be pushed back a few weeks, and for those harvesting fruit crops, there's a predicted 30% crop reduction near normal. Spring conditions are not expected until June, so keep that in mind when you're planning your upcoming vacations.
A University of Oregon researcher is attempting to grow flowers that could restore eyesight. And these flowers aren't tulips or roses. Richard Taylor is researching nanoflowers, which are seeded from nano-sized particles of metal that grow in a natural process. Eye surgeons would implant the devices into the eyes of blind patients. And Taylor says if implanted properly, they could help process vision with almost 100% efficiency.
And the class of 2011 can start to feel a little better about graduating. According to a recent survey, employers plan to hire 19% more recent college graduates than in 2010. The National Association of Colleges and Employers released the study. The association says that this is the first double-digit increase in spring hiring predictions since 2007. The sectors with the biggest growth include sales, finance, accounting, information technology, and marketing. The NACE says that the number of job applications for employers has jumped to 45% this spring, but the total number of job openings has tripled.
The University of Oregon's Women's Center showed their pride last weekend in their 10th annual Out Loud Queer Music Festival, formerly known as Lesbopalooza. The event has become Northwest's premier queer women's music festival to celebrate queer artists and activists. This year's artists include Goddess and She, Tanya Asili y la Banda Rebelde, Melissa Lee and the Barely Theirs, and Nicole Sanctuary. Thank you for watching Duck U News. I'm Ellen Minkin.
And I'm Adam Holmes. We'll see you next week for more local and university news right here at Duck U.